this is what the no contact method is. First of all, the no contact method has to have a demand. What does that mean? There has to be something that you were trying to gain from getting the no contact method, and you had to tell that person what you wanted. This way they know that you're not talking to them for a particular reason, or that there could possibly be a reason why you're not contacting them or accepting their contact anymore. So you have to have a demand to begin with. The next thing you need to have for it to be the no contact method is a rejection. Now, here's where a lot of people fall short, because when they don't have a rejection, it basically works like this. They say, "Oh, so I'm a friend with benefits and you don't want to be in a relationship with me? Fine. I want a relationship." The person kind of doesn't give them one. So they say, "Okay, I'm going to employ the no contact method. I'm not going to talk to this person anymore." Well, they stop talking to that person for like 5 months. But the person has never called them, has never made any attempt to kind of contact them or anything of that nature. All of a sudden, 5 months later, the person calls them back. They pick up the phone immediately. "Hey, haven't talked to you in a long time." And then the person goes back to whatever they used to do before. Nothing changes, nothing gets better. And they say, "Man, I tried a no contact method, it didn't work." No, you didn't try the no contact method. You didn't call them, they didn't feel like calling you. Y'all just didn't talk to each other. That's not the no contact method. You never rejected that person when they tried to call you. It doesn't start until they try to contact you. Until then, you're just not contacting the person. It's not no contact method. It's not like no contact is when you don't receive contact, you don't accept contact from their way, and you don't give contact from your way. Okay, and the last one is a payoff. You have to have a payoff. Okay, otherwise you don't talk to the person again. Otherwise you don't deal with the person again. So what do I mean by that? Kind of the same scenario. You're stuck as a friend with benefits, or you're in the friend zone or whatever. You say, "I want a relationship." The person pretty much doesn't want to do that, so you stop talking to them. You stop talking to them, they come back one day and they say, "Oh, well, I'm sorry, I apologize," yada, yada, yada. You say, "Cool." You go back and start dealing with them again, and then all of a sudden, you find yourself back in the same rut you used to be in. Well, there was no payoff. They came back, but they never said, "Okay, I'll do this relationship. We'll try to make this work." They never acquiesced to whatever your demand was. So there was no payoff. That means there was never a no contact method. All there was you throwing a temper tantrum. Even if they called and you hung up the phone on them, or they texted and you ignored it, doesn't matter, because you didn't wait for a payoff for them to be able to come back and be in your life again. So all you did was throw a temper tantrum, and that's how they saw it. They don't see a no contact method because they came back doing the same crap they were always doing. They didn't come back and have to acquiesce to your demands, so they don't see a method there. They just see an emotional tantrum. All right, so that's the no contact method. Basically, it's a means to an end, and it's making sure that you're not contacting the other person and you're not receiving contact from that person, and also that you're doing it for a reason. There is a specific reason why you're doing what you're doing. Even if you didn't say right before you did no contact, "Oh, I'm doing no contact for this reason," you don't have to do that. No, of course not. But they know why, and you know they know. The reason why I'm such a big advocate of no contact is because it does two things. It gives you time to clear your head and kind of disconnect your emotions a little bit. And it also lets that person know that you're not willing to put up with the crap that they're doing to you, that you're not going anymore. Maybe you went for it for a while, but you're not going for it anymore. This is why we do no contact. Now, no contact is not a sprint, it's a marathon. A lot of people, and this is why I talk about no contact so much, because a lot of times what we want to do is we want a quick fix, and we feel like we're in a hurry. We feel like we're in danger of losing that person if we step back and take away contact, because they might get mad, or they might go find somebody else, or whatever the case may be. If you put together everything I ever tell you and everything I ever talk about, what do I constantly talk about? Giving good love, building value, building the best in yourself. This is so you don't have to fear doing something like no contact if the person's not giving you what you want in return, if they're not giving back, if it's not becoming a 50-50 type of situation. This is because you've built your value. You've put a lot into this situation. You've shown them good love. This makes it so that it's going to be a lot more difficult for them to just go out and find somebody else. Yeah, they might try to substitute you for a while, but you have to be in a situation where you're saying, hey, if that's what you want to do, do it. I'm not willing to put up with your situation. I'm not willing to put up with the way I'm being treated or what I'm not getting out of this situation. So if you want to go out there and try to find somebody else, go ahead and do it. It's kind of work, and for them, it's going to kind of work like this. Have you ever had a really, really good ass job? I mean, a really good job that you really liked, you enjoyed, you was making good money, everything was going your way, and then all of a sudden you lost that job for some reason, whatever the reason might have been, and you had to go and get a job, a temporary gig that was kind of like something you had done before, maybe, or something, you know, along the lines of the stuff you used to do before, or it was some straight bullshit, and you knew it. Have you ever had to do that before? If you haven't, good for you. I'm glad, you know, hopefully you never will. But if you have had to do that before, it is the worst experience ever. Because you're so used to being in a better environment that now you're like, man, I'm really back sweeping floors again? Really? Really? This is what I'm doing? Everything pisses you off. So when you give good love and then you say, I'm not getting this stuff back in return, so I'm doing no contact, it puts that person in a position that even if they do go find somebody, all they're doing is doing you a favor. You see what I'm saying? Because now if they go out there and they go get somebody else, now they get to see how it really is out there. And it's cold outside. But when you go out there and you refuse to never do no contact, you won't commit to no contact, what ends up happening is you go on this emotional roller coaster and you give an inconsistent relationship. You give inconsistent love. Basically, how it works is if someone's not treating you right, you're not going to continue to be able to keep treating them right. But since you're not willing to cut off ties when you're at your best self, what ends up happening is you keep going up and down and you keep getting upset all the time. Like, for instance, y'all be going along for like a week or two and you're like, man, when are you going to make a commitment? So then you start talking trash. So now the next couple dates you go on, you're talking trash to them. Or, you know, you're calling them for a second and you stop calling them. You start talking to other people. Yada, yada, yada. You know, all these different things. You're not giving good love anymore. You're giving lower level love. So what usually happens in this situation, some of y'all probably familiar with this, might have happened to you already. What usually happens is eventually they get tired of you and move on to somebody else. Next time you know, you see them over there dating someone else. They're in a serious relationship with them because you went from giving good love to giving lower level love. And now when they split off to somebody else, that person's best is probably somewhere around what your worst was. You see what I'm saying? Because what you were going through brought you down. That's why I say give the best love you possibly can. Be so into it, so interested. Love as hard as you possibly can. And when you're not getting that back, that's when you do no contact. That way, whenever you cut off contact from somebody, they're in a position where they have to go out there and try to find what you give. Don't do that wishy-washy no contact crap. And the reason why you don't do the wishy-washy no contact stuff is because they're still going to be getting you and that other person. So basically they have a relationship that's exactly what they want because they're getting all that good love from you, plus they're getting the freedom and the newness of dealing with another person. When you say no contact, you got to be serious about it. You got to be like, no contact, deuces, stiff arm, middle finger, index finger follow, deuces. You got to get rid of them, be done with them for a while until they come back. You have to make them make that move because basically what you're saying to them is, this is how you get this good love. This is how you get what I'm willing to offer. And if you're not willing to do what it takes, then you don't get it. You go out there and try to get what you can from somebody else. Have fun with that. Hopefully you succeed. Hopefully you're okay. And as you do that, you start emotionally disconnecting from the situation more and more because once you take no contact, then you give yourself an opportunity to start maybe meeting other people, talking to other people, dealing with other people, and maybe you might find somebody to treat you better than they did. Because if they weren't treating you the way you wanted to be treated, it's a lot easier to replace them than it is for them to replace you when you were doing everything that they needed you to do. Be the best you can be. Be at your top level all the time as a person, just on your own. and give the best love you can. And when you give no contact, when you say, I'm done with this, I'm not doing it anymore, go your way, and you come back when you get correct, and if you don't come back, cool. Then you have to be patient with it. No contact is a marathon, not a sprint. Okay? It is a marathon, not a sprint. A lot of people think it's a sprint. A lot of people think, oh, okay, I'm gonna do this no contact thing, and I'm gonna be done. You know, it should work quickly. It should work in a couple of days. It should work in a week or two. You gotta give that person a chance to go out there and realize you're not coming back. Because you gotta remember, while you're working your methods, while you're working your strategy, they got a strategy they're probably working too. So you have to make sure that they realize that, hey, this person doesn't seem like they're coming back. This relationship has been downgraded. We're not together anymore. Even when they start kind of talking to me again, it's not like they're in a relationship with me anymore. It's like I'm just a friend now. I don't want that. I want that good love I was getting before. I want to get that back. What do I got to do to get that back? Then you'll start seeing, if they were really interested in you in the first place, you're going to start seeing them coming back and giving you what you want so they can get that good love again. And if they weren't interested, then maybe they will go away. But you want them to, because you don't want somebody sticking around wasting your damn time. So give good love, and then when you're done with it because you're not getting it back, that's when you do no contact, and you stick to it. You stick to it until you get what you want. Because you know you've given the love you're supposed to give. You know you've been the best you could be. And while you're no contact from them, improve yourself even more. Use that as an opportunity to be an even better version of you. Because now they're missing out even more, and someone else is seeing everything you have to offer. Don't let that person break you down while you're doing no contact. Don't go no contact, start eating bonbons and sitting on the couch and quit your job and just, downgrade yourself completely. Get better and better, stronger and stronger. So that person has to look in and say, man, this is what I missed out on. It is a marathon. No contact can last months. It may last a year or so. But if you want this to be about your life, what's a year to your life? What's 6 months to your life? What's a few months to your life? This is the type of energy you have to put into it. Just like if you want to do something in your career, you have to be willing to put the time and energy in to make the situation the way you want it to be. A lot of people say, well, I don't want to waste 4 years going to college, or I don't even want to waste 4 years graduating from high school. Well, that's why you might be working, washing the floor somewhere. That might be the situation. If you want more, you're going to have to do a little more to get it. You're going to have to plant your mind into that and say, it's a marathon. I know what I want to get. I'm not going to take anything less. I'm going to make sure that I'm the type of person that can attract those things. I'm going to be the best that I can be. And then I'm not going to accept anything other than that. And if I can't get that from you, I'll get it from somebody else. But at the end of the day, you're not going to sit here and waste my time and give me less. And I'm not going to keep going back and forth with you over this so I devalue myself in your eyes and lose your respect. You're going to know you're dealing with somebody that's about something. You're going to know that this is what you got to give to get with me. And it's not going to be anything in between. I don't care what happened in the past. I don't care what you got away with in the past. That's over. I've moved on. I've grown. So hopefully I was able to help you out. Once again, it's your man, ChazzEllis. Make sure you go to the ChazzEllisProject.com. Get that consultation or that quick question, even if you want to make a donation just to keep us going. It's your man,